My peoples, my peoples. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. Is that the biggest fight in boxing? Let's talk about it. That fight has become a reality. We saw Terence Crawford step in the ring after Canelo defeated William Skull, and they made it official. September 12th is the date at Raider Stadium in Las Vegas. I can pretty much tell you right now it's going to be sold out. He's going to do monster pay-per-view numbers. Is this the biggest fight in boxing? Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm Jay Smith. This is Box Center, your favorite boxer's favorite boxing show. Let's talk about it. I gotta tell you, my peoples, if somebody asked me that question, I would not take any time. There wouldn't be a shred of hesitation for me to say yes. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford is the biggest fight in boxing. It is. And it's one of those fights where you know how competitive it is by how people are predicting it. Everybody's not predicting it for one side, everybody's not predicting it for the other side. You have a lot of people who feel like the underdog. Terence Crawford will be the underdog. You have a lot of people who feel like he's going to win this fight. And they feel confident about that. I'm one of those people. And I can tell you right now, I feel like Terence Crawford is going to outbox Canelo in a very competitive fight. It's going to be close. I feel like it will go the distance. But ultimately, Crawford walks out of there with a win by unanimous decision. That's how I see it playing out. Based off of their skills, their physical assets, and so on and so forth. I'll tell you right now, I feel like people underestimate, what Crawford will be able to do with his height and reach advantages. I feel like he's going to be able to capitalize off of those. And we're going to see it. We're going to see it on September 12th. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, that's a mega fight. This, it's something that we haven't seen in a long time, a fight this big. It's a big fight. And I'm not trying to discredit anybody else. We have seen some big fights recently. But Crawford versus Canelo, I believe that number one, it is going to do over 1 million pay-per-view numbers. Remember that I said that. May 8th. That fight is in September 12th. So I'm predicting it months ahead of time. Contracts haven't even been signed. Tickets are not for sale. And I'm telling you, that fight is going to do over 1 million pay-per-views. Over 1 million. You could take that to the bank to get some pounds. My people, hit that like button, man. Don't be cheap with your boy Jay Smith. Hit that like button. But yeah, man, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. It's a fight that is very much anticipated. We were kind of in the fence, like, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? How is this going to play out? And finally, I think we can all agree that the fight was made official the moment Terence Crawford stepped in the ring. His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh was up there, and they announced it. So it's a wrap. We're getting that fight. That's it. No more wondering, is it going to happen? Is it not? How is this going to play out? The fight is happening. It's going down September 12th. So who's going to win that fight? Who do y'all got winning that fight? Terence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. I made my prediction. I made my prediction. I feel real confident about it. And it seems like when it's playing out very similar to when Terence Crawford and Errol Spence were going to fight. William Allen, Crawford going to get knocked out. De Soto hybrid, Crawford by unanimous decision. So look, the first two comments, one is saying Canelo's going to win. The other one is saying Crawford is going to win. Like, you guys are the perfect example of how good this fight actually is. Two people spoke, one on one side, one on the other. But William Allen, I hate to disappoint you, my brother. Crawford going to beat that ass. Crawford's going to dish out a beating. Don't be surprised if Canelo's made to look bad. You already seen him made to look bad twice. You already seen how Floyd Mayweather made him look bad. You already seen how Dimitri Bivol made him look bad. So Canelo already knows how to lose. Crawford don't know how to lose, my brother. You're about to find out on September 12th. I'm trying to tell you. Man. If you listen to me and you understand it, then it's going to be less painful when Crawford whooped that ass. Because you saw it coming. You're like, yeah, Jay told me this was going to happen like this. William Allen, where the fight going to be at? I hope in Vegas. It's going down in Vegas. At Raider Stadium. In Raider Stadium, bro. Allegia, I think it's called Allegia Stadium. That's where it's going to be at. So, big-ass venue. Gonna be sold out. They gonna do over 1 million pay-per-views. This is gonna be one of those fights. His Excellency Turki Alal Sheikh already dubbed it the fight of the century. Love more Hinduism. Nelo gonna teach him, brother. I know Nelo's gonna teach him what it feels like to be a 3-division undisputed champion when he beat Canelo's ass. Oh, he gonna learn, all right. He gonna learn. Trust me. But listen, that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this fight. Seeing how, people are so divided about what the outcome is going to be. I can't wait. That's why it reminds me of Crawford versus Spence. Because when that fight was going to happen, it was exactly the same way. You had Crawford haters and Spence fans who were sure Errol Spence was going to stop Crawford. And Errol Spence is so big. Love more Hinduism. You're going with your heart, bro. I'm not going with my heart. I'm not. This is what I'm going with. Crawford is taller. Crawford has a reach advantage. Crawford has better footwork. Crawford has faster hands. I feel like Terence Crawford is going to outbox him. Notice, Love More Hinduism, that you say, that you're saying Crawford's going to knock him out. You, my brother, like almost everybody else, is banking on power. You think that the end-all, be-all to this fight is going to be power. Canelo's going to knock him out. Canelo's going to knock him out. But what if he doesn't knock him out? What if it goes the distance? Canelo, all the advantages. Nah, that's not true, bro. Look. There's just two right there that I'm telling you that are facts. That we can't, it's not up to opinion, right? You see Love More Hinduism, how you say Canelo got better timing. That's your opinion. That's an opinion because they're fighting different fighters, different styles. You don't know whose timing is going to be better when they fight each other. So you're giving out your opinion. But look, Crawford is taller and has longer reach than Canelo in his arms. You see, those are advantages Crawford has over Canelo. That's not my opinion because what you're sharing is your opinion. You're like, Crawford's timing is better. That's really an opinion. There's no way to really measure that. But their height and reach is something that's measurable. And Crawford has physical advantages over Canelo. Height and reach, those are physical advantages. Don't forget that. The Soto hybrid, there's nothing that Canelo do better than Crawford. Gonna be a lot of sad Canelo fans come fight night. I feel that way. I feel that way. William Allen, Crawford finna retire with an L. You gonna find out. You gonna find out. You thought Errol Spence was gonna give him an L too? Love More Hinduism. Younger, bigger, stronger, more experience on the big stage. Bro, what are you talking about? Canelo's like 2 years younger than Crawford. 2 years, that doesn't make a lot of difference, my guy. Bigger, stronger, I don't know how you decided that he's stronger. We don't know that. Crawford is a very strong guy. I think Love More Hinduism that you're seriously underestimating Terence Crawford's strength. Guy, lifts 30 to over 300 pounds. Deadlift with plain clothes on. Yank that shit up. He's 34, but he's about to be 35. Yo, bro. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Love more Hinduism. Let me show you something. Look, love more Hinduism. Crawford is 37 years old. You're actually trying to make him older than what he is. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. You're making him older. Crawford's 37 and Canelo's 34. That's 3 years difference. What are you talking about? They're both in their mid 30s. They're both literally in their mid 30s. Pierre Oliver, Crawford a dog and extremely competitive too. The Soto hybrid. Like, come on, love more Hinduism. You can't, you know, with Jay Smith, you know I'm the human algorithm, and you're gonna come over here adding numbers to Crawford's age to make him seem older. Come on, man. Now you're not gonna do that with me, my guy. You know I does this. And my people, one like, that's nasty work. Nasty work. Y'all doing me wrong for that. One like? God damn. 10 minutes talking boxing with y'all. I got one like. Why y'all gotta do me like this? But listen, Crawford versus Canelo, it remind me a lot about Crawford versus Spence. Because of the same thing. People were saying Crawford was gonna get knocked out. Crawford was gonna get stopped. Crawford is too little. Spence is too big and is gonna break him down to the body. And we saw how that played out. Terence Bud Crawford gave Errol Spence the biggest ass whooping, one of the worst beatings that we've seen in recent history of an undefeated champion. A beating. And y'all said Spence was going to knock him out. So it's the same thing. I'm noticing the same people who were saying Spence was going to knock Bud out is the same people that now are praying for Canelo to do what Spence couldn't do. Pierre, Crawford not losing that easily. Love more Hinduism. Crawford never fought a Hall of Famer. Love more Hinduism. That's irrelevant. That doesn't... Him never fighting a Hall of Famer doesn't mean absolutely anything. That's fan argument. Because what Hall of Famer was it at 147 that he could have fought? What Hall of Famer was it at 140 that he could have fought? What Hall of Famer was it at 135 that he could have fought? So, what are you talking about? He's never fought. It's not... can you tell me what Hall of Famers Crawford ducked? Go ahead. And by the way, Amir Khan is going to be a Hall of Famer, and Sean Paul is going to be a Hall of Famer. Watch. John Parham, salute. Salute, my brother. Yeah. So, again, my people, we got to stop the whole logic about, oh, he didn't fight this, and he didn't fight that. Fighters fight the people that are in their weight class and the people that they're able to fight. Tell me who are the Hall of Famers in the welterweight division that you felt Crawford could have fought. Go ahead and tell me. So who he fought is irrelevant. The Soto hybrid, they be coping. Yo, they be coping hard. Like, what are we talking about? Oh, he never fought this, he never fought that. That's irrelevant. That has absolutely nothing to do with what's going to happen when Crawford and Canelo step in the ring together. That has nothing to do with it. Pierre Oliver, Lovemore, who for you is a Hall of Famer and Crawford can have fought? I don't know. Maybe Lovemore Hinduism could tell us what Hall of Famer he felt Crawford should have fought in the welterweight division. The guy's literally fighting the people in his division, and we're like, nah, he didn't fight somebody that doesn't exist. Come on, man. We gotta... when two fighters are gonna fight each other, you gotta compare skill for skill. If you feel like Canelo does this better in the ring, does that better in the ring, and how do you formulate your opinion? But the argument that, oh, well, he didn't fight this type of fighter and he didn't fight that type of fighter, that don't even make no sense. That don't even make no sense, my brother. Because at the end of the day, Terence Crawford is one of the most accomplished fighters of this era. That's like me telling you, well, Canelo never been undisputed, wasn't undisputed in two divisions first than Crawford. How relevant is that? How relevant is that really? It's not. At the end of the day, it's only going to be Canelo and Bud that's going to climb the ring on September 12th. Those are the only two guys that are going to get up there. And we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I can't wait for that fight. I'm going to get the same satisfaction that I got when Crawford pummeled Errol Spence and everybody had to change their tune. Everybody that was telling me that Spence was going to knock Crawford out, they made a transition. Now they went back to the car accident. No, it's because the car accident and the eye. And I'm like, wait a minute. But leading up to this fight, all y'all was telling me is that Errol Spence was going to knock Crawford out. Now you bringing back the car accident? It's like the car accident went away when Crawford beat Danny Garcia and when he beat Ugas for a title. And then that car accident came back when he fought Terence Crawford. Love more Hinduism. Crawford was having trouble with Benavidez' brother. And he's trash. Come on, love more Hinduism. You're talking about he was having trouble with a guy he stopped. You're really talking about he was having trouble with a guy he stopped. Like, come on now. Come on now. That's like me telling you, well, Tank Davis was having trouble with Lamar Roach. And you see, that's the problem, my brother, that when you're a hater of a fighter, you make bad arguments that in your head you think they're good arguments, but they're not. They're never good. When it's a hater argument, it's never a good one. We could talk about, I could tell you, well, Floyd Mayweather was in trouble versus Maidana when he got stunned. So he won the fight. Picking out a little moment of a fight to hate on a fighter is not it, my brother. A fight that he won by stoppage, that's not it, my brother. That's the hater in you for Terence Crawford that's talking like that. He had trouble with this guy, a guy he knocked out. Brutally. Come on, bro. Love more Hinduism, Jay Smith. I'm a Crawford fan. I'm just speaking facts. Is that those facts are irrelevant for a fight with Canelo, my brother. They're irrelevant. A fight that he had with Benavidez, with a guy he stopped, is irrelevant. How are you going to knock a guy's performance on a fight that he won by knockout? A fight that he dominated because he won almost every single round. You can't, my brother. That's what I'm telling you is hate, because you're taking a fight where the guy wins by knockout. You're taking a little bit of that fight, a little snippet where he got caught with a punch or two. Like, yeah, he was having trouble with Benavidez' brother. How you say he was having trouble with a guy he knocked out, bro? That's hate. What trouble are you talking about? We looking at the record. We looking at a stoppage. Not only a stoppage, he was winning on the cards by a large margin. If it would have went the distance, he was going to win by unanimous decision. So I don't know what trouble you're talking about. I have no idea, my brother. What trouble are you talking about that he had on a fight that he was winning on all three cards and won by stoppage? No such issues like you're expressing it, my brother. He was having trouble. I didn't see that trouble. Won by knockout. So we have to always take that into consideration. What was the results of the fight? Winning by knockout. So I didn't see the trouble that you're talking about, my G. But I will tell you, look. Everybody's making their prediction. You know, a lot of people feel like Canelo's going to win this fight. And then there's a lot of people who feel like Crawford is going to win this fight. But that's why I'm telling you, this fight reminds me of when Crawford was going to fight Errol Spence. Where all these people were saying Crawford is too small. Errol Spence is going to knock him out. He's too big. And then what happened? Bud Crawford dished out a brutal beating of Errol Spence. And then what happened? The excuses. oh, what happened was the car accident and the eye and Errol ate his homework and smoked a bag of weed that day. All the excuses in the world because nobody want to give Bud his flowers. So what's going to happen now? If Crawford beats Canelo or when Crawford beats Canelo, what kind of excuses are we going to hear? Oh, Canelo didn't look the same. Canelo seemed like he was different. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm telling y'all, my peoples, when this fight goes down, there's going to be excuses the same way. They won't be able to give Crawford his flowers. Love more Hinduism. So would have finished him in one round. That's why, my brother, I love the facts over opinion. You see how you keep injecting your opinion about what you think would have happened and how you think it will play out and who you think has better timing? I leave the opinion out of it and I stick to the facts. Canelo Álvarez has 2 losses in his resume. None of those 2 fighters were hard punchers. None of those 2 fighters have a high knockout percentage. Floyd Mayweather, Dimitri Bivol, they outboxed him and they made it look easy. So we've already seen the blueprint to beat Canelo. 2 people already beat him. Crawford is going to be the 3rd one to beat him. And then I want to see what you're going to say. I want to see what you're going to say. I want to see your output. Justice Sullivan, you're on the facts right now. I'm trying to tell you, my brother. You know, it's very easy. It's very easy to simply have an opinion. Oh, I think Canelo's going to do this and I think Canelo's going to do that. That's easy. But I'm telling you the facts. Canelo got beat twice by 2 fighters who were not knockout punchers, who did not have a high knockout percentage. Floyd and Bivol both beat him and made it look easy. So we already know Canelo can be outboxed and even made to look bad. Crawford has those type of skills, and y'all going to find out. Y'all going to find out. The taller guy with the height advantage, with the reach advantage. Love more Hinduism. Remember you said Canelo has all the advantages. He's shorter and has less reach. You know what that's called? Physical disadvantages. So when you said Canelo has all of the advantages, that was a lie. Or not a lie, an exaggeration. You're exaggerating. He doesn't have all of the advantages, my brother. Love more Hinduism. Plant, Saunders, Jacobs, Golovkin, Lara. That's meaningless. You already told me that Crawford hasn't fought Hall of Famers. Now you're naming the resume of Canelo. That's meaningless. That is 100% meaningless. You know what name is not on that list? Terence Crawford. Do you see Terence Crawford in that list of names that you gave me? Nope. Now I'll give you 2 names that you missed out of that list. Floyd Mayweather, Dimitri Bivol. Whooped that Canelo ass and made it look easy. Made him look like an amateur. Made him look like a bum. You see? Canelo knows how to lose. Terence Crawford doesn't know how to lose. That's why I let you bring up the irrelevant facts and I tell you the facts that matter for this fight. For this one. It don't matter who Canelo fought, brother. I'm telling you the facts of this fight. He's going to fight Terence Buck Crawford. And he's going to get that ass whooped. He's going to get outboxed. Going to lose by unanimous decision. Then you're going to be like, shit, man, Jay told me so. Matter of fact, the fight September 12th. On September 13th, when you come on the live, you're going to address me as Jay Stradamus. That's it. You're going to go in this live and you're going to be like, how are you doing, Jay Stradamus? Sir Jay Stradamus? That's how you're going to greet me. But, my peoples, I tell you what, I feel like Love More Hinduism. Crawford got wobbled by Mean Machine. So, all these little tidbits that you're looking for. Crawford has, 41, 42 wins? And you have to go back to a fight from like, what, 7 years ago to say that he got wobbled? That's a great chin, brother. That's a great chin, brother. You got 47 fights and you bring one time that he got wobbled. Go ahead, bring up the one time that he took a knee versus Mean Machine. Oh, yeah, it was versus Mean Machine that he took that. One fight in 42 fights, that's what you bring up? Come on, man. Stop. He fought Madrimov at 154 and ate all his punches like they was double-decker burrito supremes. Stop. Look at that Gamboa. How long ago was that? 10 years ago? So, in a 15-year boxing career, a 16-year boxing career, you bring up two names of people that stunned Crawford, and you're going to say that you're not a Crawford hater? My boy brought two dudes in 40-something fights. And two dudes that Crawford knocked out. What are we talking about? That's why I think it's mad funny that you bring little pieces of a fight in fights that Crawford knocked out his opponents. Really? Fights that he knocked out Gamboa. You know that, right? It was a knockout. Brutal knockout. But, let's forget about the final result of a fight so you can focus on a little tidbit that you think you could hate on. Hater. And then you're not just a Crawford hater. You're a Crawford in the closet hater. Nah, yo, I'm not a Crawford hater. And then throwing out hater stats after hater stats. Pierre Oliver, Lovemore, what a casual you are. You know nothing about boxing. I mean, my boy brought up that Crawford got stunned twice in a damn near 20-year career. Oh, my God. But the fight is coming up. We're going to see it in September, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out what's what. I already know because the Errol Spence fans, when they all predicted that he was going to stop Crawford, and Crawford pummeled, battered Errol Spence, instead of them giving Crawford his flowers, they started hating Crawford even more. The people that were the Errol Spence fans, because they don't even talk about Errol anymore. They forgot about him. But the people that were Errol Spence fans, they were praying for Crawford to get knocked out by Errol. So what happened when Crawford gave him that beating? They hate him even more. And now that they hate him even more, now they're going with the same narrative for Canelo Álvarez. The same thing. Oh, who he be? Oh, what he done? Oh, he's too small. Y'all should have learned already. When he put the Swiss beats on Errol Spence, the Apple, and the Dre beats, y'all should have learned already. Y'all still haven't learned. Crawford is going to have to teach y'all one more time. Pancho Villa fam, we got to ban Tio ASAP. Yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing. I haven't seen the video, but I seen that he's calling niggas names again. And Teofimo, man. Teofimo. I mean, he did see Terence Crawford face to face. And I don't know if you've seen the video that they did together. That Crawford was like, yeah, I seen him. Tell him what you said to me. Tell him what you said. And he was like, nah, yeah, I'm just trying to promote the fight. I'm just trying to get the fight. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Teofimo just be wilding out. That's what I could tell you. But I think that Terence Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez is the biggest fight. It's a huge fight. I don't think right now in boxing there's a fight that's bigger than that one. And it's funny because there was even people telling me that fight don't make no sense. I don't want to see that fight. I won't see that fight if it happens. And look now. Look now, everybody wants to see that fight. Everybody's talking about it. That's gonna be the biggest fight in boxing. Where's all the people that said that they don't want to see it? That it don't make no sense for them to fight each other. Where they at? I don't see them anymore. So that's it, man. September 12th, we're finally gonna get it done with the. We're gonna be predicting until then, but in reality, everybody's already made their prediction. Everybody's already said who they think is gonna win that fight. I already told ya. Terence Crawford is gonna put the beats on Canelo's. Henny Place, Friday, New York, embarrassment. Friday, New York. What are we talking about here, my brother? You talking about the Knicks? Walter White, Canelo versus Crawford fighting and not in their prime and calling it biggest fight in boxing. It's a troll. Walter White, Canelo Álvarez is 34. Terence Crawford is 37. They're in there at the tail end of their career, but still performing at a high level. It's a troll for you to say it's not a big fight. I don't know. I don't know if you hate on Canelo or you hate on Crawford, but that's nasty work. The pay-per-view numbers are gonna show you how big that fight is. Pancho Villa, Canelo will get dethroned. Walter White, you're a troll. Yeah, Walter, like, what is he talking about? Oh, they're not in their prime. Like, what? What are we talking about? This fight is gonna be a monster fight. That's the thing. Sometimes people talk. Maybe they're talking because they hate one of the two fighters. Maybe they don't know shit about boxing. Now all of a sudden a fight they have to be at what Walter White, so they have to be at what you think is their prime. Like, how do you come to Canelo just became undisputed in the second division. He just became undisputed. Terence Crawford is undefeated and is a reigning champion at 154. What made you decide that they're not in their prime anymore? How do you come to that conclusion, bro? I love Crawford. I got Crawford winning. It ain't gonna do top 5 pay-per-view in boxing. Oh my God, listen to yourself. It's not gonna do top 5 pay-per-view in history. Look, you sound like a hater, brother. So if the shit does 1 million pay-per-views, that won't be top 5. That's not a big number. If it does 1 million, come on, bro. You gotta listen to yourself. It's not gonna do top 5 all time, man. What are you talking about, bro? A fight gotta do top 5 all time so that it could be good numbers, good pay-per-view numbers, or monster pay-per-view numbers all time? You wildin' out, bro. You wildin' out. Not only that, that's a bad logic to have because we're in 2025. You're not going to do the same pay-per-view numbers that people were doing 5-6 years ago. Why? Because we're streaming fights illegally now. There was a time where the only way you could watch that fight was on pay-per-view. Those times are gone. So now the people that order the pay-per-view is people that want to support it. But there's a lot of people that they're going to stream it and watch it for free. But 1 million pay-per-views is monster numbers. That's crazy. Listen, right now, anybody doing over 500,000 pay-per-views is doing monster numbers. The notion that it's not going to do top 5 pay-per-view all time. What? That's crazy. That's crazy right there. Haney plays the fight that happened on Friday in NY. Haney has PTSD. Ryan Garcia is always out of shape, embarrassing. I'd rather watch Bub versus Canelo. So I got to tell you, man, listen. The card in NYC was disappointing in a way. Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza, that was a good fight. Teofimo showed his versatility, showed that he can box, reminded us that he's not just a guy that's going to stand there and slug it out. He can box. But then we had the Devin Haney fight, which Devin Haney, did a lot of movement, a lot of, and a very little bit of punching. And that made it a fight that wasn't entertaining. But he walked away with the W, so I give him that. And then Ryan Garcia and Rollies, man, listen, in the first couple of rounds, Ryan Garcia looked really good. But then he got dropped with that double left hook, and he was never the same. He never let his hands go. I don't know if he was being gun shy. I don't know what it was, but and Rolly's, we gotta give credit to Rolly's coach, Salas. Rolly's was sharp as hell. Very sharp. Those jabs to the body. Kept that stick out there on Ryan. Actually, lateral movement from Rolly's. Rolly's was out there looking good, man. William Allen. Haney makes me sleepy. I'm still tired from the fight. Walter White. Shakur regular fights will do more numbers than Crawford versus Canelo right now. Oh my God. I don't know how you could even say that, bro. Shakur hasn't even been on pay-per-view yet. Shakur's on ESPN. And obviously you can get a lot more views on ESPN than people buying your fight. That's not a good comparison, bro. Shakur hasn't even had his pay-per-view debut for you to say that. Love more Hinduism. Every fight was boring that night. Nah, I thought Teofimo's fight was good. Walter White. Maz, why call put me on timeout? I just gave my opinion. Shakur is the most watched in ESPN, brother. You're 100% right. Shakur is the most watched. But you also have to understand that when you're on a free channel, you're going to get more views than people on pay-per-view because they got to buy those fights. So it's not fair to compare your views on ESPN over somebody's views on pay-per-view. That's not a fair comparison. So yes, Shakur is the most watched fighter on ESPN. I've made that argument on here to explain to people that Shakur is extremely popular. We don't measure popularity by who's on pay-per-view because most fighters are not on pay-per-view. So nobody wants to see Shakur fight. You see Haney plays, you say that nobody wants to see Shakur fight, yet he gets the most views when he fights. So what you really got to say, my brother, is I don't want to see Shakur fight. But when you say nobody, you're talking for other people. And other people are watching him. When you don't want to watch somebody, don't talk for other people, my brother. Talk for yourself. Say, I don't want to watch Shakur fight. Other people do want to watch him and are watching him. MAW. Hello, boxing fans. Jay in chat. Smash that like button, folks. MAW. Appreciate it, my G. Shim Sean, what's good, OG? What's the deal, my brother? Appreciate you dropping it. You know, we talking boxing. Shakur Stevenson, how big of a star is he really? William Allen, nobody want to pay to watch Shakur fight. That's just hater talk. When he get on pay-per-view, a lot of people are going to pay to watch him fight. Hani plays. They just want pay-per-view to watch him fight. We got to see when it happens. We haven't seen it yet. When Shakur finally get on pay-per-view, a lot of people are going to pay. And it's going to do great numbers. My G, happy Thursday. Let's talk boxing. Walter White, Shakur is so underrated, bro. Tank and Ryan and Devin, everyone ducking him. That's a fact. Everybody's ducking Shakur. Nobody wants that smoke. Nobody wants it. My peoples, I'm about to end this live. However, I will be back on in about an hour. So 1 hour from now, my peoples, come back on. I'm going to be live again. We're going to talk boxing. I'm not even going to say goodbye to my peoples yet because I'm coming back. So y'all already know what it is. I'm Jay Smith. This is Box Center, your favorite boxer's favorite boxing show. See you in about an hour at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Yo, come check in with me, my people, so we can talk boxing. We not done with this shit. We got to keep going.